Okay, I'm Erin,
Aaliyah.
Brooke.
Karina.
Ashley.
and we're Tribe Happy Family. And we did job satisfaction. So, go ahead. Basically, job satisfaction boils down to two things. It's intrinsic job satisfaction, which is what employees consider the kind of work that they do. Like, are they happy with what they're doing? Do they feel fulfilled? Extrinsic job satisfaction is where the kind of environment that they're in. Is it okay to be in? Like, do they feel comfortable, basically? And overall, job satisfaction is achieved when you combine both of these things. Because if you're not happy in your environment, you're probably not going to be happy doing the job itself. Okay. And then, why are some employees more satisfied than others? And it's kind of like what boils down to what's important to you. Whether it be pay and promotions, status, environment, supervision, or the work itself, whether it's fulfilling or not. And then, that's it. And then basically, it also boils down to your own personal values. Like, what are the things that you are consciously or subconsciously aware of? Like, do you feel like having a place to go for work, like where you work a lot of hours is what you want? Or would you like short-term hours? Or just basically the environment of the job itself? And then what values that you personally have that go back to your job. And that's all I have.
Okay, so values actually do play a huge role in explaining job satisfaction. So this is a value perceptive theory, agrees that job satisfaction depends on whether you preserve your job supplies the things you value. So this can be explained by the following equation. So dissatisfaction equals values wants minus values has times values of importance. So in this equation, V want, so values that you want, reflects how much of a value an employee actually wants. V have indicates how much of the value the job supplies, and V importance, in fact, reflects how important the value is to the employee. A big difference between the wants and the haves create a sense of dissatisfaction. Value perceptive theory also suggests that people evaluate job satisfaction according to specific factors of the job. Next slide, please. Okay, some of the specific factors of a job is pay satisfaction, refers to the employee's feelings about their pay, including whether it's as much as they deserve and if it covers both their normal and luxury expenses. Promotion satisfaction refers to employees feeling about the company's promotion policies and their execution, whether those promotions are based on abilities. Supervision satisfaction reflects employees' feeling about their boss, including whether the boss is competent, polite, a good communicator, and whether they are lazy, annoying, and distant. Coworker satisfaction refers to employees' feeling about their other fellow employees, including whether coworkers are smart, reasonable, helpful, fun, and interesting as opposed to boring. Lastly, satisfaction with the work itself, referring to work tasks and whether those tasks are challenging and are they dull or repetitive. As a result, it is hard to be satisfied with your job if you do not like what you actually do.
Okay, so job satisfaction and job performance. Job satisfaction has a normative positive relationship with job performance. So satisfied employees engage in more extra mile acts. So that would be helping another coworker get work done to get it done on time, or maybe just doing something that doesn't fit the description just to help out the company. Satisfied employees do a better job at doing the tasks that are in their job description and also getting them done on time. So making sure they get them done because they're satisfied within it. Job satisfaction improves task performance, so positive feelings toward a job can pull away from distractions. So that's like using your phones or talking with other people or even just getting in your thoughts to really get into what you're supposed to be doing and getting your work done. Positive feelings promote creativity, improves problem solving and decision making, and enhances memory and recall of certain information. And then job satisfaction and organizational commitment. Job satisfaction has a strong relationship with organizational commitment. Job satisfaction creates Satisfied employees are then more likely to stay within the company, which I think is kind of obvious because if you're happy, why are you going to leave it for who knows if you're not going to find a job that's like it, that makes you happy. Satisfied employees have a normative commitment, so this is where they feel that they have an obligation to stay within the company because they feel like they have to repay them for why they're so happy. And that could be for a good pay, their job description, they like it, or even just the benefits of it. Job satisfaction, so job satisfaction and life satisfaction. So people feel better about their lives when they feel better about their jobs. A lot of our lives are spent at work, and we can get caught up in it too. So if you think about when you meet someone new, a lot of the times you'll talk about, like, what do you do? What's your career? What do you hope to do in your future? So this can just show, like, how much our lives revolve around it, and it plays a big part in if we're happy or not. The book stated that research shows that job satisfaction is one of the strongest predictors of life satisfaction. And I mean, I feel like it really is, because we spend so much time with work. I mean, a lot of times it can shift our moods. If we have a bad day at work, we'll be crabby for the rest of the day, or if we have a good day, we'll be happy. So it plays a big part in our life satisfaction.
So the real question is, how is job satisfaction affected by day-to-day events? And sometimes employees' satisfaction levels fluctuate over time, and it falls like some sort of emotional stock, as the book stated. And sometimes this may seem strange because some work tasks don't change over an hour or over the day. And the key to remembering this is that job satisfaction reflects on how you feel and think about your job. A satisfied employee feels good about their job on average, but things happen to make them feel better or worse at some times. And the two related concepts responsible for flows in these satisfaction levels are mood and emotions.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the difference between these two. So moods are states of feeling of mild intensity, and they'll last for long periods of time, probably over the entire day. They're not directly caused by anything. The person probably doesn't quite know what is affecting their mood, or if it's something that happened, they probably don't know exactly what that is. And some examples of moods are enthusiastic, excited, hostile, nervous, or annoyed. And emotions are different. They are states of feeling of high intensity. They'll last for short periods of time, and they're clearly directed at someone or something. And some examples are joy, pride, love, anger, guilt, shame, and disgust. So if you think about things you probably feel during the course of your workday, they probably affect how you feel about your job a lot, because if you're consistently every day feeling angry or hostile about your job, you're probably not going to want to go back, and you're probably not going to be very committed to that organization. So here we see this is a figure that was in the book. It has two categories. There on top there's activated, and on this side there's pleasantness. So this is kind of how our emotions and moods are kind of categorized. So the darker colors will represent more intense moods, and down here this one is white because that's really it says quiet, still, inactive. That's really not a mood or emotion at all. So it's left blank. So the darker green area is basically where you want to be. It's the most positive emotion, and positive emotions can be caused by would be caused by challenging tasks, but to keep that positive emotion, the employee also has to be able to do those challenging tasks. So if it's something so challenging that they just can't do, then that positive emotion isn't going to stay. So different tasks can generate different moods. Organizations can take steps to kind of influence your moods. Like we watched the Zappos movie, they have kind of set up their work environment to kind of influence your moods. They have close, tight-knit, they have stuff all over the walls, stuff hanging everywhere. That's kind of meant to invoke positive emotions into their employees. But basically, that can affect your mood, but in the long run, it's really the tasks that you do each day that are going to affect them the most. So if you are doing a boring task every day, it's going to affect your mood negatively. If you're doing a task that you really enjoy doing, it's going to affect you positively. So basically understanding these fluctuations in moods and emotions can really help managers in the long run, because then they can kind of give tasks to certain people that maybe they enjoy doing, and it'll help in the long run of kind of keeping everyone happy basically, and then you can get more done. Yep.
So we're going to go over the steps on how to improve job satisfaction. And for the first step, it's to provide a positive work environment. And to provide that, you have to find what motivates people, and you have to find what turns people on, and that's like the most important thing in a job. And this requires going over and beyond like your normal tasks for the day, and this is for providing for the need of the worker instead of just for yourself. And then an example that our book gave was the Walt Disney World Company, and this shows an excellent work environment because of all the positive things they have for their employees. Like they have employee assistance centers all over the parks, and that includes like employee discount programs, child care, postage stamps, check cashing, and like bus passes. So they really keep their employees happy with all the extra stuff that they do for them. And Walt Disney really realizes that taking care of their employees is to keep them motivated and on the job. And once they keep all their employees motivated, that's what makes them loyal to the company and keeps them going and staying on the job. And that kind of goes with like Zappos too, how their environment is. That's kind of how Walt Disney takes it upon themselves.
Step 2 is reward and recognition. So companies can reward their employees by just giving out maybe gift cards for good work, or even just small celebrations. It really doesn't just take money. Just being recognized could really improve and help an employee feel good about themselves. People like to be recognized for their work, and it can boost their motivation and even just their assurance within the company.
And then step 3 is to involve and engage in the workplace, which basically means giving the employee the option and opportunity to give or contribute ideas, and it allows the employee to take ownership and pride in their work.
Okay, step 4 is develop workers' skills and potential. So this would include having training and educational opportunities, and this motivates people and makes them more productive. There would be less supervision that frees up management. There would employees, if they have training, they can answer questions of customers, they can be more loyal employee, and they can build customer loyalty. And this leads to better management and employee relationships.
Okay, so the last step is to evaluate and measure job satisfaction, which determines what needs to be improving. So that includes the identification of the problem and implementing a plan. So businesses are always searching for a competitive edge by technology or equipment, but the true competitive edge is trained and motivated people working together, contributing their time and energy towards the goals of the enterprise. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's it, sorry.
I like that you opened the intrinsic and extrinsic with it. I think it's really important to know that, because that's something that a lot of people don't realize, and it's especially important for you guys, when you manage leaders, to be aware of different types of job satisfaction. And you clearly identified that you understand how important values play to job satisfaction. That goes that first organization bit, which is why Section 3 starts out with you guys identifying what's your ideal workplace, understanding the value of demonstrated versus false value. That linking job satisfaction to life satisfaction, that's huge. I think we all agree. And I'll give you a real brief real life analogy. Is I consider my job to be a huge part of why I'm just a very content person. I love what I do. My husband can't wait to retire. He comes home from the firehouse, grab me all the time. Oh my God, I can't wait. 7 months away. Please come quick, because he's so miserable at what he does. But it's a cycle too. Think about it. You're unhappy at work, you bring home, you're happy at home, and you back to work, I'm happy. It's just a vicious cycle. So that is so important. So if you think about it from a managerial perspective, and if you're creating an environment where your employees are extremely happy with what they do, you're creating quality of life for them too. And that's really important. I mean, think about the impact that you actually have on somebody's entire life just by being a really good leader, caring, responsive, approachable leader. That's huge. And I think while we talked about the difference between management and leadership, that's really one of the things that makes somebody, I think, a really good leader. They recognize that, beyond this workplace, I impact your entire life. And your employees will respond to that with loyalty, with hard work. I know I do. Dean of the School of Business recognizes, just taking off this past week, kind of, missing teaching 2 classes, but she made it possible for me to do that because family first, there's the demonstrated values, and she cared that I had time with my family, and I'm a better employee for her because it's going to make me work that much harder for her. And she does those things for the people that work with her. So try to be that kind of a leader. It just will go such a long way. What else? I also let you guys too, you hit the importance of measuring it. You always should measure initiative. You need to be able to know, and I know we just covered this in MGT221 about the importance of metrics. Being able to know whether or not something is working, and having quantifiable results to show that, this is really good. By addressing job satisfaction, or let's say investing in, gift certificates to employees when they do something, and it's reduced attrition. People aren't leaving as much, our turnover rate went down. Then you go back to upper management and say, look, if the turnover costs a company anywhere between 90 and 20% of somebody's annual salary, we save this much money by only spending this much. That's powerful. So measuring is so powerful. It really gives you a big leg to stand on when you go back and also want financial resources to do things like that. You can say, yeah, I saved you a ton of money. Very well done.